it is Angela, and I am here with your weekly guidance. Thank you so much for tuning in to Divinely Connected. This is your weekly guidance for the week of June 11th to the 17th. And if you are new here, please hit that follow button so that you are updated every time that there is a weekly guidance posted, a daily message posted, as well as educational content here on Divinely Connected Podcast. And if you are new to me through the podcast platform, please follow me on Facebook at Psychic Medium Angela McClellan, where I record these messages live on live video, as well as additional daily cards that are different from the podcast on Facebook as well. So let's get to it. Like I said, this is a general card read for the month of, or for the week of June 11th to the 17th. And we have 4 cards pulled already. Okay. New blessings. Oh my God, what is this? This feels so good. This feels like there's a little bit of a surprise coming in. So the card itself is the one of the one of earth card coming in. And this is all about new opportunities. This is about increased prosperity. This is change coming in. There's the card itself says windfall of abundance, wise counsel, or good fortune, an exciting career opportunity, lucrative contracts, or significant purchases, which would be like cars, homes, big trips, things like that, bucket list things. And what's so beautiful about this, it just feels like we may have been interpreting it like it's too far away, or we're not going to be able to have that come into this week or this year, or when, the timeline was too foggy for us, right? So there is this feeling of surprise factor connected to the timeline, like, oh my God, it's here already. Oh my God. Right. So this is really good. This is definitely a new beginning. It does give me the nervous feeling. So we're kind of we're excited. We're a little bit unsure. Maybe we're kind of like, oh, is this it? Is this the right time? Exciting news. So an additional card for that message says an exciting news of exciting opportunities. Allow your creativity to soar. Do things that fuel your passion. So again, this is definitely something that is coming in that is worthwhile for you. Okay. And I think that that is so important that we move through those nervous emotions, because a lot of the times we get excited and then we almost want to like contradict the excitement with doubt and being like, oh my God, can I even do this? Right. And the answer is absolutely yes. There does need to be some realistic expectations on what you can give or what you can carry at this time. So if this is something that we're valuing and something that we really want to do, then we may need to, delegate or decline other things that we were thinking about doing or wanting doing. There may need to be a change coming in. You can't do it all. It actually doesn't even, it's not that you can't do it all. It's like it's impossible to do it all. So it's almost like it's contradicting in timelines, or it's one or the other. It's not both. It's that type of feeling. So it is something that they are bringing through a lot of encouragement around. But of course, allow yourself to feel what it is that you need to feel, and challenge that doubt and fear when it comes in, because I feel like this is a hell yes. To be honest, this feels like this is a hell yes. So that doubt and fear is just that uncertainty that comes with change. You know what I mean? So don't read too much into it. Of course, we're going to have doubt and fear. Of course, we are, right? When we're making changes, whether it's within our relationships, it's in our wellness, our health, our homes, our jobs, whatever it is, there's always variables. It could not work. Therefore, that fear and that vulnerability is accurate. Doesn't mean that that's what your outcome is going to be. And this honestly feels like it's a blessing that's coming in that is for you. It feels like it's like a gift for you. So it's the perfect place. It's the perfect job. It's the perfect home. It's the perfect partner. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that's coming in for you. Of course, there's going to be doubt and fear, but I don't feel like the doubt and fear is your intuition saying, no, 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 this isn't for you. This does feel like we're nervous, but we're excited, and you can be both at the same time and still move forward in positive ways. Do not take too long to make the decision. And I'll tell you why. You'll talk yourself out of it. You'll talk yourself, especially when it's divine intervention, especially if there are these divine ideas that come in. This is something that I have learned about myself. If I don't just do it, if I don't, kind of put my 2 feet in it, or if I get this inspired idea of like, okay, I'm going to open up these readings, or I'm going to run this class, or whatever it is I'm going to offer to do, if I don't do it right away, I'll probably talk myself out of it. So since I now know that about myself, I throw it out there and then I hold myself accountable for it. So if that doubt and fear, so again, especially if it's divine intervention, especially if it's a divine idea that's coming in and it's high vibration, it's high energy, that feels amazing. But as soon as we start to come down to our default vibration, then we're going to have that doubt and that fear coming in, right? So this does feel safe. This does feel like this is for you moving forward. There's going to be a little bit of this up and down energy. Know that that is okay. Know that that is okay, but not to take too long in making the decision so that you don't miss this amazing opportunity. Now, there's also this feeling of approval or this feeling of right and wrong, this feeling of like how the cookie crumbles. So if you're waiting on answers, if you're waiting on if you got the job, if you got the funding, the legal proceedings, do we have custody? How's this going to work out? The justice card is here, right? So there's is completions and answers coming in. That's how they are stating it this week. So there are completions or there are answers coming in that are going to allow you to move forward. So for me, this is the feeling of contentment. I'm not feeling like we are screaming from the rooftop with excitement, but this is contentment. And because the answer is coming in, we're able to then move into the next season or the next direction. It does come in with the 10 of air card coming in, which is something that is going to be conflicting intellectually and emotional. Okay. The card itself indicates that there's an ending coming in as well. So the end of a situation that brings relief, sadness, or both, an opportunity for new happiness, a weight off your shoulders, the end of addiction, or boundaries being put. So this is again this feeling of contentment that's coming in as we are getting the answers. Right. So the answers are not negative. We're not devastated. We're like, okay, awesome. This is done. So now let me move forward in this way. Now that that is handled, I'm able to, continue forward. So it is bringing through that liberation and that freedom that you were looking for, bringing in the answers that you need and allowing you to move forward in the ways that you need to. It is going to be a complicated experience. It is one of those bittersweet experiences, right? Maybe you have a child that's graduating. Maybe you have a child that's moving away. Maybe a relationship that you know is done is actually going to be officially done. Maybe we are moving and we are leaving a space that even though we're outgrowing it, it's still sentimental. It still has love in my heart for it. Right. So there is this feeling of like, okay, yes, momentum, yes, forward motion. This is as we want it to be. But at the same time, oh my God, we're all we are in that grief energy. Now remember, grief is not only for departed loved ones. Grief is for anything that once was that no longer is. Right? So because we are all energy and everything that we attach to or we experience with or that we have is energy, as we let it go, there is this falling away of energy. That letting go of that feeling energetically is the grieving process. So depending on the significance of the attachment, or of what we are letting go, will dictate the intensity and the longevity of the grief experience, right? So this is why it's hard to purge. This is why it's hard to go through the closets, or it's hard to walk away from a situation or person that you know in your head, this is not for my highest good. But because there's so much energy attached to it, it can be very extreme in that letting go feelings, those grief feelings. So just remember that grief is not only for departed loved ones, it's for anything that once was that no longer is. That's people, places, things, hobbies, habits, routine, environments, dietary preferences, mindsets, right? So, again, this is why making these shifts and making these changes are challenging for us because we are connected to everything by energy. But when we understand that this is what we are feeling, when we have that bittersweet emotion come in, we're not going to freak out. I know myself, and I'm sure so many of you who are tuning in today can remember a time where you made a decision and that you felt good about the decision. You felt solid in the decision. And then when it was time to walk away or leave or whatever the ending was, you had these bittersweet emotions, this doubt, this fear, this grief came in, and not understanding why it was here, we then go, "Oh my God, I'm making a mistake. Oh my God." Right? Because I made an intellectual decision for myself. We shouldn't be sad. We shouldn't be upset. We shouldn't have these sad feelings. It shouldn't be hard. But that's not an accurate expectation, right? So understanding that even though you're doing what is for your highest good, as we walk away or move forward, leaving whatever we are leaving behind, it will be bittersweet. You can be happy and sad at the time. You can be excited and sad or a little bit doubtful at the same time. When we understand and expect that, then we're like, okay, we're not freaking out by the surprise of these emotions. We're expecting it. It only makes sense. It only makes sense that we are moving forward, right? And that not everyone and everything can come with us. So that there is this outgrowing. And that's just something that comes in with this day, with this human experience. You cannot take everything and everyone forward with you, no matter how bad we want to, right? It's just not something that we can do. So there is this feeling of growth that comes in, that may be outgrowing people, places, and things whom you love, but they're no longer for your highest good. And when it comes to people in relationships, I always say, you can grow with me or you can catch up later, but I have to keep doing me. Because when I started my spiritual path, my spiritual journey almost 10 years ago, I can't even believe, I was thinking about the dates the other day. I'm like, how are we almost at 10 years? This is crazy to me. That I remember I wanted to take everyone with me. I remember all my excitement, right? I'm like, oh my God, I feel so much better. And oh my God, I'm healing. And I'm learning about my intuition. And that is just adding value by the day into my life. And with my inner circle, I wanted everyone to come on the wild ride with me. They didn't wanna. They didn't wanna, right? Because each and every person are their own individual souls with their own individual life lessons, struggles, triumphs, etc. So I almost kind of felt a little, my ego was engaged, I think. I'm just like, well, why wouldn't you? Because, oh my God, life is so much better already, right? And it came to a point where I'm like, okay, well, like I can't stay that version of myself to make them more comfortable. And I can't make them learn and grow with me. So there had to be this acceptance that came in. And the sentence that I say to myself when I'm kind of perplexed is, you can grow with me or you can catch up later, but I have to keep doing what is right, what is for my highest good moving forward. And that definitely allowed and gave my soul, especially my inner child, that permission to continue moving forward, and knowing that we're all on these different paths. And now that, like I said, I'm about 10 years in, some have fallen away completely and some have fallen away but are kind of circling back in, and this is in my inner circle, right? This is within my personal life. So this does happen. I often see it as well with my clients as well, right? Where they kind of ebb and flow, and they'll come and they'll learn what they need to learn, and then they're off, and it's just this really beautiful type of pattern that comes in. So just give yourself that permission. Give yourself that permission to move forward in the ways that you feel is for your highest good, and give yourself that permission to listen to your intuition, because it is going to lead you forward, and that each and every one of us are our own individual souls, even though we're sharing experiences. Your parents, your siblings, your children, the strangers at the grocery store are all their own individual souls with their own individual life lessons. And I can promise you, I can guarantee you that you cannot learn it for them. I have tried. I have tried and I have failed, because it's that whole, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You cannot learn the life lessons for them. You cannot just show them how to be and lead by example and hope that they absorb it, right? You can only do what you can do, and they are responsible for, especially, and I'm talking about adults, guys, they are responsible for their own life experiences. We can advise them, but there's also this feeling of, you are also responsible for you, right? So if you're giving advice, if you're giving energy and it's being squandered or it's being wasted, then that is not for your highest good. Right? It's only taking from you. It's not actually helping anyone. So there is this feeling of also allowing yourself to protect your energy, allowing yourself to say, you know what, go ahead. Like, I'm here if you need me, but I'm no longer going to insert and give this energy freely, because it really doesn't make a difference, and it only depletes your energy. So remember, there needs to be a balance, energy out with energy in. And there's going to be some epiphanies coming into this week with that, right? And again, having this understanding that we can love each other and we can have shared experiences, but it is an individual experience. We are here with our own path that we have to walk. To keep that in mind, and I think that that just comes in, and it's so powerful, because so many of us immediately default into compromise, right? And that's not for your highest good. It's not for their highest good, because there is this fear that's inserted into us in such a young age of don't be conceited, don't be selfish, don't be that type of person. But the truth is that you owe it to yourself to do the best that you can for you. I'm not talking about achieving. I'm not talking about accumulating things. I'm not talking about climbing the ladder at work and having the biggest house and the biggest car. That's not what I'm talking about. You deserve to do what is best for you so that you have the best life experience that you can have while you are here, which is surrounding yourself with love and peace, and cutting yourself slack and taking care of yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I think that this is something that we immediately go, oh, let me overextend because I don't want to look self-centered. I don't, but we should be loving us the most first, because a loved version of us only has good to give. And if everybody loved themselves 10 out of 10, this is what I say to my kids: how much do you love me? I'm like, I love you 10 out of 10, right? So if we each loved ourselves 10 out of 10, who's hurting people? Who's stealing shit? Who's being vindictive, right? That would be so much less. By loving ourselves, everyone benefits. Everyone benefits. The more loved and the more secure we are within ourselves, the more loving we have. Our cup is so full of love that as everything fuels out, everything pours out, it's only love, right? So it only makes sense for us to create the best experience that we can have for ourselves, because that is what this world needs. And it's not self-centered, and it's not conceited, and it's not all the words of selfishness that have been programmed within us. It is something that is necessary and essential for in this life. We have the Empress energy coming in as well, and this is saying time to take action. Give birth to your dreams. Creative projects that will be very successful, abundance and prosperity. So, again, going back to this very beginning, messages of abundance coming in and new opportunities coming in new ways, new career opportunities. It's very much connected to the finances. So, this is money coming in, or this is money going out, buying, selling, moving, renovating, that type of thing. So, it is time to take action. It does feel like that there is a little bit of up and down type of energy coming in this week, which means that we need to process what we're going to be committing to. We may be excited, and then we may be freaking out and doubt, and then we're going to recalibrate before we do anything, before we say yay or nay, and we're going to allow ourselves to feel what it is that we need to feel. It's also, again, a really great opportunity when good things come to you. If we have resistance to it, if we have guilt connected to it, which is very common, that's where we need to go, where is this coming from? And give yourself permission to move forward in this life in the best ways that you can for yourself. And know that by you doing that for you, it benefits everyone. It's not you being selfish, not you taking from them. It's you actually getting to yourself in such a space where all that there is left to overflow out of your cup is love. And also understand that boundaries are essential in this life. Because if you are in a situation, an environment that is taking from you in dramatic ways, no matter how fast you're pouring back into that cup, the hemorrhage and that energy out is only going to it's going to be it's always going to outrun. Sorry, it's always going to outrun what's coming in, right? So keep that in mind as well, that there will be changes that need to come in, but it's more of that sense of connecting with yourself, going within, and then make the adjustments moving forward. So although there's a lot of opportunities and new bright ideas, divine ideas coming in this week, there does feel like there is time to process and plan for actions coming out. So there is that processing time. So don't worry, you don't have to figure it all out within a split second. You do have a little bit of time for that processing coming in this week. All right. So thank you so much for joining me here on Divinely Connected Podcast. Make sure that you subscribe to this podcast so that you are updated on my latest episodes. We'll see you next week.